Hello and welcome to week 12 in Psych Seminar here. And here's a kind of a fun time where we're looking at career planning. So chapter 9 gives you some resources to look at all the different career options that there are in the field of psychology, to look up their education requirements and kind of get a handle on where you're going. Many of you have come in with ideas about what you want to do. You are certainly not limited to those, and you don't need to change either. But the path in front of you is long and adventurous. So this is a really good opportunity to see what else is out there, what makes up the field, those kind of things. I also present here something, it's a topic that I bring up in my developmental psych class, and in the discussion, we're going to be looking at the concept of happenstance. Now, happenstance is actually the name of a career development model that emphasizes that research tells us that a large percentage of people who are in their happiest careers ever did not ever see themselves doing that kind of work. And it seems remarkable. We're always told to plan and look ahead and all that stuff, and we're not leaving that behind. Planning and looking ahead, all the aspects of what we're doing here in school are still important. But happenstance as a theory brought to light the notion that we will often find our favorite best fit into a job when we have been able to respond to an opportunity that presents itself. Now, happenstance as a theory itself talks about how to be leading a career just like you are right now, but while at the same time you're remaining open to other things, other options that might come along, a door that might open. So first of all, networking with people. And we kind of mean anywhere, not only necessarily your professional circle, like me interacting with other psychologists. It's interacting with people wherever you go. You're in line, you practice, even if you're an introvert, which I am, you practice extroverted behaviors and you make connections and talk with people, and you never know when opportunity will knock. The other thing is to remain open to learning different things, expanding on your hobbies, expanding on your interests, not just being focused on only your work areas. And thirdly, and this is kind of important, making sure that if you're going to open up your life to having opportunities that might spring up out of nowhere, you might want to have a little bit of savings set aside so you can get by the period of time. If you need to jump ship to take this opportunity, you're going to have a period of time where you're not being paid. So you're going to have some money to carry you over that period of time. Happenstance, the luck or the just, unlikelihood of something happening, and it happens all the time, that whole concept, that's part of it. The other half is how do you live a life prepared for that? So the discussion is about those things. Is this something that you want to do, even though you have your eyes set on something very specific, and I actually ask you to do that for the assignment? Do you want to try and enable yourself to be able to open to happenstance when, as I said, the research indicates that many, many people find their happiest work was something they never saw themselves doing. It happened because they were in a conversation at the grocery line, they met someone at their kid's hockey game, or whatever. Those kinds of happenstance events that led them down that new path. So that's the discussion. The Chapter 9 assignment has you look at those career fields, and I'm wanting you to take the steps to find out what you would need to do to get there. And I mean looking at all the steps. So if you say, I want to be a school psychologist, I want you to kind of figure out where your next school is going to be to get your bachelor's degree. And I believe a school psychologist requires a master's degree in school psychology. Where would you go to get that? Where would you actually go? Where do they teach that? Doing those due diligence to figure out what that path would be. You're not stuck with this path. You're picking one and you're doing the assignment based on it. However, many of you have anticipation of going on to a 4-year degree. that's the school you probably need to start think of right away. Even though you're going to be going beyond that and looking at graduate school maybe or something like that, I do want you to think about the next school, because I'm going to be asking you to actually reach out and interact with them, to send an email to the chair of the department that you want to get into, just to introduce yourself, maybe introducing yourself to the admissions people that are over there. Again, this is part of that networking. When you let your name be known at the institution you want to go to, even though that might be a couple years away, it's good to do it now. And you're going to write a paper that includes your current dream. You pick a school, you pick a program, you get their contact information, you look at the alignment of classes, that's the undergraduate part here. ID the KVCC classes that you need to take that match up with their curriculum, and reach out to them. And you report that all out in the assignment. Those admissions units, this is a spring class, those admissions offices are raring to go. They are waiting for phone calls like the one that you are going to be giving them. So make sure you do that. Now, we also have a Steven Pinker discussion, and this is going to look at reductionism. Now, one of the challenging aspects of the scientific point of view is it does actually remove some of the magical quality of nature when we figure out how things work. And particularly when, and it is, when it's incredibly complex and lots of chemistry and lots of, stuff like that. And then it can kind of take the wind out of our sails of living in a relatively magical world until we understand how that world works. So if you think about aspects of your life, like maybe it's your faith, or maybe it's your sense of consciousness and what that means and whatever, in what ways do you think you might be reluctant to have science shine its light on those things and potentially reduce them to science facts? Those kinds of things. That can sometimes be the fear that individuals possess. Even intelligent, well-educated individuals might have a fear of science because it kind of ruins this thing. If you're very into nature, the intelligence of animals, and the interactions and all that stuff, what if science revealed that wasn't there? Ouch. That we might be reluctant. Now, I assure you that science is not finding that out. It's actually finding out that there is an interconnection between all the animals and trees and living beings all over the world. That's where science seems to be right now. But the point is to get into a discussion about that sense of reductionism. When we look at something, tear it apart into its pieces and see how it works, does that create an excitement to you, or does it maybe create somewhat of a letdown? So looking at that topic in general and discussing that. So that's our week. We have Chapter 9, discussion on happenstance. Chapter 9, assignment, where you're developing the plan for your dream career and following through with that entire research. And then the Part 5 discussion in the Pinker special assignment. So, good week. Be well. Work hard. We're getting toward the end of the semester. The light at the end of the tunnel is coming, and it will be summer. It will happen. Even though we're going to have snow in just a few more days, we will have summer. So keep an eye out for that, and have a great week, and take care.